When you have city and local, state government all working together for a bold vision of your community, it's really incumbent on a federal partner stepping up and convening public and private partnerships to row in the same direction and achieve great things in terms of the revitalization of the communities. Look, we have to unlock public funding so that we can attract private investment. We have to bring more employers to this North Central region to take advantage of the well-skilled labor force.
We need to fix it now. I have a record of getting things done. I built a tiny company into one of the largest online suppliers of auto parts in the country. I've said this many times, I'm going to serve on the Infrastructure and Transportation Committee. Okay, folks want to go down there, they want to serve on Ways and Means, they want to be on Armed Services. All right, that's where you accumulate political power, pad your resume. That's not my reason for going down there. I'm going down there to serve you. I'm going to serve on transportation and infrastructure because that's the best way to bring economic development to this part of the district.
No matter where I go, any corner of this district I hear this is an issue, and I see a lot of students here tonight that are probably thinking, how am I going to get out from underneath this debt? Anybody who wants to go to college should be afforded the right to go to college, right? And we need to fund grant programs to make certain that kids who need assistance to go to college get what they need. We need to make more accessible and more noble, frankly, in this country, community college, trade and technical programs, vocational programs that get our kids into the workforce with the skills they need, with the salary they need to have more opportunity to provide a better life for their families.
I mean, the problem with college is the cost. We need to open up student loans. You talk about debt. We need to open up the student loans to market interest rates. Okay, but we also need to understand how we got in this mess. The government did a deal with the banks and said we need to have everyone going to college. And in order to do that, we're going to underwrite the risk. We're going to make that a risk-free loan for you so you can give loans to everyone. Right? You're not just paying for your education. You are essentially being taxed. You are subsidizing large universities' research and development programs. All right? So if the federal government is going to underwrite all this, then we should say that, fine, but you're not going to be able to pass those R&D costs on to the students. Plain and simple.
So this is absolutely an area where Democrats and Republicans can work together. We do have to dispense with the divisiveness that this administration has basically started us on. We know we can do it. We've done it before. In 2006, Senators McCain, Senator Kennedy, they did find agreement on this very issue. They found a way to have the tough conversations around reforming our very much outdated immigration laws. Look, we need to give a pathway to citizenship for the people who are living here, paying our taxes, abiding by our laws. That includes our dreamers. There is cooperation by the Lawrence Police Department to get fentanyl off the streets and to put the bad guys in jail, and that needs to continue.
Unfortunately, we don't have cooperation between federal, state, and local. Just recently in Lawrence, one of the largest busts in our state history, they seized enough fentanyl to kill half the state of Massachusetts. Many of those people had open detainers from ICE and had been previously released. That is the fact. The first thing I do when you send me down to our nation's capital is I put my hand on the Bible and I take an oath to uphold the Constitution and federal law. I cannot abide by policies that directly contradict that law in good conscience. We need to return to the rule of law first and foremost. Thank you.
So, first and foremost, I think that Congress needs to be brought back into the conversation with trade agreements. I think it's an important role that Congress plays, and it's one that we weren't involved in during this current renegotiation with NAFTA. The most important thing is taking a look at each agreement one by one and evaluating it on its merits, making sure that our companies, our industry is poised to grow, making sure that our workers are set up for success and that jobs are staying here in the United States.
My company has been on the front lines of what I like to call the undeclared trade war for the last 2 decades. The reality is we've signed many trade agreements over the years, but only one side abides by them, and that's us. The smart folks, the smart countries in the world want to be on our side, want to be our friend, and realize they've been getting a better deal. And the deal they're being offered now, it's a good deal too, and they're going to take it, because not having access to our markets, that's a bad deal.
What I will say is I agree that the tariffs can definitely be used when there's a goal in mind, right? So with China specifically, whether it's devaluing their currency or stealing IP, whatever it is, issuing tariffs so that we know we're bringing them to the table, back to the table, is something that is okay. I don't think putting our allies on notice through the use of tariffs is the right way to go.
I mean, the problem for manufacturers, the reason we've lost our manufacturers here in Fitchburg and Gardner, okay, it's not the cost of labor, it's the cost of energy. If it is a problem for you, or anyone in this room, or anyone in this district, I don't care if it's a state problem, because it's my problem too. So even though there's not a lot I can do in D.C. that's going to change Massachusetts policy, I will be your advocate on Beacon Hill. I will go to Beacon Hill as a businessman, as a congressman. No other member of the congressional delegation will do this. They don't understand the problem. They don't understand what manufacturers go through. I've tried to bring manufacturing from foreign countries here, all right, and they won't do it because of the energy costs.
So we do need to set our manufacturing companies up for success. We have to make sure that we put the programs in place so that the cost of energy isn't too high while we are transitioning to renewable energy. I mean, look, we've walked away from our renewable energy initiatives federally. We've walked away from our position, our world leadership position on climate change, and we desperately need to get back to where we were. We need to accelerate the transition to renewables and get 100% renewable as soon as we can, while making sure our companies who are reliant on the forms of energy that we have right now are successful.